News tonight. I'm Scott Beadle. JRTC Fort Polk hosted a Memorial Day ceremony this morning to remember those who have served. ABC31's Shar Thomas has more in tonight's big story.
Many people gathered at Warrior Memorial Park in Fort Polk for a Memorial Day ceremony to remember those who sacrificed their lives for our country. Today was a very bittersweet day for families who attended the Memorial Day ceremony at Fort Polk as they remembered their loved ones and reflected on their accomplishments during the time they served.
For me, it shows honor to my son. It helps keep his memory alive, that people realize what he gave up so that we have the freedoms and liberties to go about and do our daily living. Yeah, we have the ability to make choices. Our children are safe. You name it. It's all because of our military boys and girls.
Thousands of American men and women served are still deployed in harm's way around the world. This includes members of the Fort Polk JRTC Operations Group, to the 46th Engineers, and the list goes on.
Mama, we go over there because I don't want that to come back over here. We go over there and fight so that we don't have that over here. He was proud of what he did, and I'm proud of him and what he did. So,
Shar Thomas, ABC 31 News.
Senator John Kennedy has presented a bill to help reform the VA system.
Veterans aren't getting what they deserve out of the Department of Veterans Affairs. We have a bill. It's a bill I'm working on with Senator Marco Rubio and others. It's called the Department of Veteran Affairs Accountability and Whistleblower Protection Act. And I know that's a long title, but it's a simple bill. It does two things. It says to the people that run the Department of Veterans Affairs, if you have an employee who's not doing the right thing by our veterans, then by God, fire them. And you're given the authority to fire them. The second thing this bill does says, if you're one of those good employees at the VA, and we've got a bunch of them, and you see somebody doing the wrong thing on behalf of our veterans, then turn those people in so we can fire them. And if you do turn them in, you're not going to be fired. You're going to be protected.
That bill will be voted on in the Senate in the next couple of weeks. We're looking at some great weather for traveling if you're hitting the road tonight or tomorrow. Chief Meteorologist Chris Summers is here with your first look.
Hey Scott, yeah, cool start to our day today though. Temperatures start out in the low 50s in most areas here in Louisiana. Soon saw a new record low temperature up Monroe at 50 early this morning. Now here in Alexandria we're at 53 degrees this morning, so temperatures definitely are on the cooler side, but a nice warm up this afternoon. Saw a lot of sunshine, temperatures back into the low to mid 80s in most areas. 87 degrees a high temperature in Natchitoches and Shreveport, 84 degrees up Monroe, 84 degrees also Lake Charles, and we saw a high today of 86 degrees here in Alexandria. So we're heading out this weekend, the big holiday weekend, Memorial Day. It looks like Saturday should be okay. Even Sunday looks like it's going to be okay. May see a few isolated showers on Sunday afternoon, but unfortunately Memorial Day itself does bring a chance of showers and thunderstorms along with it, with some cooler temperatures by then too. Saturday and Sunday with highs in the mid to upper 80s, but by Monday with more clouds and more chance to rain, the forecast are highs staying in the upper 70s. We'll talk more about that warm up. Also talk more about those storm chances by Memorial Day with your full forecast coming up in just a few more minutes.
Thanks, Chris. A second suspect is now in jail for home and church burglaries in Rapides Parish, which happened during the latter part of last year. He's 40-year-old Joseph Thibodeau of New Iberia. Rapides deputies say he was arrested in his hometown last week and returned here, where he's charged with 10 counts of burglary of a religious building and 10 of burglary. Another suspect has already been arrested, and deputies say this investigation is ongoing. Natchitoches police arrest a 42-year-old local man for carnal knowledge of a 15-year-old girl. Police say the child's mom turned in Timothy Peer. He's also accused of possession of child porn, an illegal firearm, and illegal possession of a gun. Rapides deputies arrest a man from Elmer for theft. 51-year-old Jerry Lane Collins is accused of the May 2nd theft of items from a home on Powell Road in Elmer. Two prominent local architectural firms are selected to design the new Central Louisiana Technical Community College downtown campus. They're Baron Heinberg and Bricado, and Ash, Broussard, and Weinzettel. This will be a joint venture to start next month, with construction beginning next year. Tomorrow begins Memorial Day weekend, and that means it is time again for the annual Little Walter Music Festival. The festival is entering its 5th year in Alexandria with food, kids' activities, and, of course, an award-winning musical lineup to celebrate Little Walter's musical legacy.
Bring lawn chairs, bring blankets, have a picnic, come out, ride your boat up on the river. It's going to be a fantastic weekend, and we're really excited. Just check out our website, littlewaltermusicfestival.com, and you can get all the details, the lineup, and everything you need.
Admission to the Little Walter Music Festival at the Alexandria Amphitheater is free, but do remember to bring some cash for the food and drink vendors. Kicks off tomorrow night at 5:30 with the Senla Brass Band, and the festival will go on, rain or shine. One of the most successful and graceful plants of summer is the lily of the Nile, or agapanthus, with its striking blue or white flowers. On this edition of Get It Growing, horticulturist Dan Gill introduces you to a different-sized agapanthus and explains how to take care of them.
Agapanthus is among the most popular of the early summer flowering bulbs we use here in our Louisiana flower gardens. It's an evergreen perennial plant with beautiful strap-shaped foliage. Now, there are a variety of different kinds of agapanthuses. There are different species and different cultivars of agapanthus of varying sizes. If you look in the front here, these are tall growing agapanthuses that get to be 4 or 5 feet tall when they're in bloom. And when you look behind me here, you'll see much smaller growing varieties. One of the decisions you have to make at the nursery is, does your landscape need these big, robust agapanthuses, or are the smaller sizes more appropriate? These aren't just younger plants, they're genetically smaller growing. The flowers come in light blue to dark blue. The darker blue agapanthus usually bloom later. The main month for bloom of agapanthus is May, lingering into June, but the dark navy blue ones like Elaine don't usually bloom until June. You may occasionally see either white flowers come up in your blue agapanthus or blue flowers come up in your white. This usually happens because the grower accidentally mixed them up together. I noticed a pot here at the nursery has one white flower and one blue flower on it, so that happens sometimes. Just remove the color that you don't want and plant it someplace else. When it comes to taking care of agapanthus, nothing could be easier. Again, plant these plants in a nice sunny location for best flowering and avoid watering them too much. After they've been in the ground for about a year, they're very drought tolerant and you rarely would ever need to water them, if ever. So don't water them too much, you'll rot the bulbs out, and that happens to people all the time by watering these plants too much in the summertime. This is a great time to go to your local nurseries, buy some agapanthus and add them to your landscape for that beautiful cool blue color. Forget it growing. I'm Dan Gill with the LSU Ag Center.
For more information on other lawn and garden topics, contact your parish's LSU Ag Center Extension Service Office or visit the LSU Ag Center website at lsuagcenter.com and click on the Lawn and Garden button.
In honor of all the brave men and women who gave their lives to protect our country, we remember our fallen heroes. We feel pride and we pay tribute to their sacrifices. We proudly salute our brave soldiers and express our gratitude to all those who laid down their lives to safeguard our nation. It's a time to honor America's heroes. A Memorial Day message brought to you by Doctors Hospital at Deer Creek.
In Manchester, 8 people remain under arrest in connection with the concert attack, and police are calling those arrests significant. The terror level in Britain remains at the highest level, critical, with raids and searches continuing around the clock. ABC's Elizabeth Hur is in New York with the latest.
A moving show of solidarity across the UK. A moment of silence for the victims of the Manchester terror attack, including 14 children still in the hospital.
You had enjoyed the concert, presumably?
Yeah, it was really good.
Surprised today by a visit from Queen Elizabeth.
She's lovely. It's just like mind-blowing, really. Like you just wouldn't really expect it.
And as the nation stood united in silence, British police intensified their search for others who may have been involved, pursuing what they call a network of terrorists after discovering what looks like a bomb workshop at the home of the suspected suicide bomber Salman Abedi.
Really suggesting that he probably did not act alone.
According to experts, the details of the bomb caught in these pictures published by the New York Times show greater sophistication. Troubling for British officials who are also outraged the pictures were leaked.
It's disrespectful to the people of Greater Manchester, but particularly to the families and those injured, during this, our darkest hour.
The mayor of Manchester telling ABC's Terry Moran he wants an apology from the U.S. government. And for now, UK officials say they will stop sharing intelligence with the U.S. involving the Manchester bombing. Britain's prime minister raising her concerns with President Trump at their meeting in Brussels. President Trump also called the leaks deeply troubling and is now asking the U.S. Justice Department to investigate. Elizabeth Herr, ABC News, New York.
It is the final stretch of President Trump's first foreign trip as Commander-in-Chief. Stephanie Ramos reports from Washington.
President Trump's first foreign trip continues, making a stop at NATO's new headquarters ahead of a high-stakes summit. He's got another jam-packed schedule in Belgium as he tries to build trust with America's European allies, but still criticizing them for, quote, not paying their fair share.
23 of the 28 member nations are still not paying what they should be paying and what they are supposed to be paying for their defense. This is not fair to the people and taxpayers of the United States.
The president also meeting with newly elected French President Macron.
We have a lot to discuss, including terrorism and other things.
But a topic he wasn't willing to touch, intelligence sharing, and his former national security advisor Michael Flynn, ignoring shouted questions about whether the British can trust the U.S. with their intelligence after a number of secret details leaked in U.S. media from Britain's Manchester bombing investigation. And after Trump bashed the military alliance last year on the campaign trail.
We have NATO, and we're giving countries a free ride. We are really, NATO is obsolete.
Today, he says his opinion has changed and that NATO is no longer obsolete.
While in Brussels, President Trump also attended a dedication service for two new memorials at the NATO headquarters, one for the Berlin Wall, the other for 9/11. The TSA says it has been testing a new way to screen electronic devices. The testing has been going on for about a year, and it could be expanded nationwide. People in the pre-check program will still be able to leave their laptops in their bags during screening. AAA estimates nearly 40 million Americans will be hitting the road this Memorial Day weekend, traveling 50 miles or more. This will mark the highest volume during the three-day holiday weekend since 2005. One reason many people could be heading out of town for the weekend is low gas prices. The national average for a gallon of regular gas is $2.37, up 8 cents from this time last year, but still relatively low. And if you are planning on hitting the road this weekend, probably in pretty good shape.
Yeah, actually, weather looking not too bad here in central Louisiana. It'll be a little warmer, though. Definitely summer-like temperatures to our feel here as we get into the weekend. Nothing like that today, though. We start out on the cool side, 53 degrees. Our morning low here this morning, just 1 degree shy of that record of 52 way back in 1913. We did make it back to 86 here late this afternoon. Again, 1 degree shy of that normal of 87. We'll talk more about some warmer weather, but also some rain chances as we get to the holiday weekend. And that's straight ahead.
KLAX TV has been giving away great prizes month after month. Now, we're giving you a chance to win a $500 gift card to spend at Clark Dunbar Flooring Superstore. That's right, $500 courtesy of Clark Dunbar and KLAX TV. Visit us online on Facebook, on Twitter, and click register and get ready to win. Enter daily, share the post to increase your chances of winning. It's time to win from KLAX TV and Clark Dunbar Flooring Superstore.
And welcome back, everyone. A good Thursday evening, too. Definitely a cool start to our day this morning as our temperatures start out in the 50s in most areas. Did see a new record low up in Monroe at 50 degrees this morning, even 51 degrees in Shreveport. Here in Alexandria, we hit a low this morning at 53, just 1 degree short of our record of 52 degrees for this date. But we did see a lot of sunshine this afternoon. That really helped warm our temperatures back up. We made it back into the low to mid 80s in most areas late this afternoon. So some very nice temperatures again, just about where we should be seeing temperatures this time of year. Our average high at this time is 87. We had a high of 86 here in Alexandria late this afternoon, but there is some warmer weather ahead. And as we get into the weekend, we do see temperatures getting closer to 90 once again for highs, but also seeing some more rain chances increasing too by late Sunday, but especially by the time we get to Memorial Day itself on Monday. That's when we see a pretty good chance of showers and thunderstorms back in our forecast. But outside right now is just a beautiful evening out there. Lots of sunshine right now, 84 degrees currently. Our dew point, not bad, 64 degrees. It is kind of uncomfortable, or at least starting to see a little more mugginess in our atmosphere. South winds at 13 as our pressure is on the fall. Now for tonight, well, we'll fall back to about 64 degrees, so not quite as cool as we were this morning. South-southeast winds around 5 to 10 miles per hour. And as we get to your Friday, lots of sunshine around, just a little bit warmer, getting back into the upper 80s by the afternoon. We'll look for a high temperature at 88, south winds, a little gusty. Could see those winds gust as high as 20 miles per hour in the afternoon, bringing in some much warmer and a little more humid air to our area for our Friday. Now for the holiday weekend then, Saturday looking pretty good. It's going to be warm, upper 80s, close to 90 for a high temperature, a little more humid too, and keep that chance of a few showers and thunderstorms until late in the afternoon hours on Sunday. So through much of the day, we'll see just humid weather and very warm temperatures too, with mid-80s. And Memorial Day itself, that's going to bring a chance of showers and thunderstorms into the area. And some of those showers and thunderstorms could be on the heavier side, something to definitely keep an eye on. Highs in the upper 70s by Monday afternoon. So a lot of sunshine in the forecast. Again, pleasant and warmer weather for our Friday. Looks like a great day to be traveling. If you have any travel plans on Friday, even Saturday looking pretty good too. Maybe a little breezy, a little more humid on Saturday afternoon. Those highs getting close to 90. And then storm chances are going to return by the time we get to Sunday and Monday. And really going to keep the chance of storms in the forecast into early next week as well. Here's what it looks like on the surface map. Again, not much going on around our area, just a little more steamy weather getting in here, more humid and more warm. Hot weather still off to our west through parts of Texas. Can see a pretty good area of hot weather out there, and that will actually get here by the time we get to the weekend, and also bringing that chance for more scattered showers and thunderstorms. Before tonight, we will fall back into the mid-60s in most of our hometowns, from Boyce at 65 to Marksville at 63 degrees, mainly clear skies, south-southeast winds at about 10 miles per hour. As we head into tomorrow, our Friday, upper 80s to near 90 for our hometowns. We'll go for a high of 88 degrees in Bunkie and also Marksville, 88 degrees here in Alexandria, 89 degrees Oak Grove, and 89 degrees a high temperature in Walters, 90 degrees in Colfax with mostly sunny skies and more humid weather for our Friday. 7-day forecast, near 90 by Saturday, mid-80s or so on Sunday. Again, you may see a shower or thunderstorm late in the day. Otherwise, better chance to rain early next week. Upper 70s for Memorial Day, then back into the mid-80s for the middle part of next week. Scott?
Thank you, Chris. There's nothing quite like a good night's sleep, and now new research suggests that for some of us, it could literally be a lifesaver. With more, here's Kenneth Moten.
A good night's sleep, for some of us, a luxury. For others, seemingly impossible. Now a new study might give the night owls among us a good reason to try to get that shut-eye. Researchers at Stanford University examined data on heart risk factors and reported sleeping habits of more than 1,300 people, comparing it to their likelihood of being alive more than a decade and a half later. What they found, those with certain heart risk factors who got less than 6 hours of sleep a night had a higher risk of death than their more well-rested counterparts with the same heart risk factors. So the next time you're thinking about burning the candle at both ends, consider catching some Z's instead. It may well be a life or death decision.
Coming up next, the LSUA softball team is preparing for their first round game in the College Softball World Series. Plus, the La Tech baseball team looked to stay alive as they faced off against Southern Miss in the Conference USA tournament.
One doctor brings health right to your home. Dr. Oz.
Every day is a new chance for change, and everyone can start right now.
With all new ways to feel, encouraged, inspired, hopeful, confident, proud, positive, special, feel better every day. Make an appointment with Dr. Oz. Check in for your daily checkup.
Dr. Oz, airing weekdays at 11 on KLAX TV.
The LSUA softball team has been very consistent in one category over the last few years: winning. After posting a 49-8 record and sweeping through the Alexandria bracket, the Generals earned its third trip to the NAIA Softball World Series in 4 years. Now, coming up, the 12-seeded Generals will face off against 8-seeded Davenport in the first round tomorrow. The teams have never competed against each other in softball in their school's history. So, as some may say, it'll be history in the making. First pitch from Legends Way Ballfields in Florida tomorrow is set for 4 p.m. The college baseball tournament season is upon us, and after dropping the first game of the Conference USA tournament to Charlotte, the La Tech Bulldogs needed a win this afternoon against Southern Miss to stay alive. Now, after falling behind 4-0 Well, La Tech bats really couldn't muster too much. Only 2 runs on a pair of solo home runs, one here from Marshall Boggs and the other from Cody Daigle. But it was enough as La Tech fell 5-2. The Bulldogs bats couldn't come up when they needed it. Their season comes to an end with a 36-19 record. As the SEC baseball tournament rolls on, LSU head coach Paul Marineri will continue to build his legacy at the helm of the Tigers. After beating Missouri in the first round of the SEC tournament, Marineri collected his 500th career win at LSU. In his 11 seasons, the Tigers have made 4 College World Series appearances and claimed the title in 2009. His squad will be back in action tonight against Kentucky. On the eve of the 2017 Division I Men's Golf Championships, LSU's All-American Sam Burns was named one of 5 finalists for this year's Jack Nicklaus National Player of the Year Award. Burns will head into the championships as the #1 ranked player in college golf. He helped lead the Tigers to their first ever regional title when he won at the Baton Rouge Regional. Burns has cracked the top 10 in each of his 14 appearances this season and continues to lead the team in scoring average. How about some afternoon baseball from today? The Braves looking to take 3 or 4 from the Pirates. Top 2 Braves already in an early hole, and well, that's not going to help. Adam Frazier taking Bartolo Colon high, deep, and gone, and the Braves now trail by 5. Same score in the 5th. Colon back in trouble. This time Jordy Mercer rips a fair ball down the third baseline. 2 more going to come in to score. That deficit grows to 7. Colon gave up 10 hits, 7 earned on 5 innings of work. Braves fell 9-4, but good news, they've still won 7 of the last 11. And the New Orleans Saints took part in OTAs this afternoon, and practice included a very familiar face in a new uniform. Adrian Peterson suited up for the first time since signing a 2-year, $7 million deal with the Saints in April. Peterson spent the first 10 seasons of his career as a starter in Minnesota and will now have to share the backfield with Mark Ingram. AP will be back in Minnesota soon, though. The Saints play the Vikings in Week 1 of the NFL season. Scott is a lifelong Vikings fan. It's a little
weird
different to see AP in a different uniform for the first time, but kind of excited to play in Week 1.
Yeah, and just seeing what he does with that offense with Drew Brees throwing and him and Ingram running it.
Right.
Boy, that could be one explosive team.
Exactly.
Thanks, Nick. A deer in distress. Who are you going to call? This next police officer. Why, he's now known as the Deer Whisperer. Next on ABC31 News.
In honor of all the brave men and women who gave their lives to protect our country, we remember our fallen heroes. We feel pride, and we pay tribute to their sacrifices. We proudly salute our brave soldiers and express our gratitude to all those who laid down their lives to safeguard our nation. It's a time to honor America's heroes. A Memorial Day message brought to you by Calvary, a place to begin again. 5011 Jackson Street, Alexandria.
A New Jersey police officer is credited with rescuing 3 deer in the past year. So he's now affectionately known as the Deer Whisperer, and his latest rescue was caught on camera. You can see here a cute little baby deer is going to be trapped in that storm drain in Woodbridge. Officer Timothy Magic, a 22-year veteran of the department, quickly came to the rescue, jumping in, lifting the little fawn to safety. Magic released the fawn into the woods with the hope that it will be returned to mom.
Providing a little magic.
Yeah. Fawn's a little scared, a little concerned, but just got him out of a tight spot, so it's going to be okay.
Yeah, very good.
I feel like we've had a lot of stories of animals finding themselves in interesting
drains
predicaments.
and
Yeah.
Yeah, I suppose it is kind of that time of year.
It's true. Yeah.
That's for sure.
Winter's gone, they're exploring, looking for food. And
so, it's great when we've got the police officers and firefighters who are doing their thing. And
stepping up their duty a little bit and helping
getting
out.
little baby animals out.
Yeah, that's good. Sending them back to get with mom and dad.
Yeah, good stuff. Well, thanks for watching ABC 31 News. Have a great night.
Inside LSU Baseball Brought to you by Randy Wiggins, State Farm agent, and Take 5 Oil Change. Join us Sundays at 10 on KLAX TV.
When a case seems unsolvable, they see the incredible. Murder, motive, secrets. Bones Weekends.
Watch Bones Weekends on KLAX ABC 31.